Jim Jones arrested. FBI sting exposes his secret deals on tape. In a shocking turn of events, Jim Jones, a well-known figure in both business and underground circles, was arrested following an FBI sting operation that uncovered a labyrinth of illicit activities and secret deals. The arrest has left many shocked, as Jones has long been considered a powerful and influential individual with a reputation for being untouchable. The sting operation, which involved months of painstaking investigation, has now unearthed the full extent of his criminal empire. This article delves into the dramatic chain of events that led to Jones's downfall, examining how the FBI conducted the operation, the tapes that sealed his fate, and the ripple effects this arrest is bound to have on his associates and the wider world. The rise of Jim Jones, a man of many facets. Jim Jones's journey to notoriety is as complex and multifaceted as the network of deals he allegedly orchestrated. Originally emerging in the business world, Jones built a reputation as an influential entrepreneur with a particular focus on high-stakes real estate and technology ventures. However, while publicly admired for his charisma and sharp business acumen, whispers in the underworld suggested that there was more to his success than met the eye. Jones's ascent into the business elite was marked by strategic partnerships, high-level networking, and a series of seemingly legitimate ventures. By day, he was a respected businessman, hosting gala events, signing multi-million-dollar deals, and frequently appearing in the press. By night, however, Jones was allegedly involved in more shadowy dealings, with rumors circulating about his connections to organized crime, money laundering operations, and even political corruption. Despite his success, there were always those who questioned the ethical foundations of his business practices. These suspicions were further fueled by the whispers of his involvement with figures from the criminal underworld. While these rumors remained largely speculative for years, they began to gain traction as Jones's empire expanded, and his associates were linked to more dubious activities. The FBI's secret investigation, Operation Silent Handshake. The FBI's investigation into Jim Jones began as a covert operation called Operation Silent Handshake. The operation was launched after multiple sources came forward with information about Jones's involvement in illegal dealings. A key piece of intelligence came from an informant within Jones's inner circle, who reported that the businessman was heavily involved in bribing government officials and laundering money through various offshore accounts. The FBI's task force, led by Special Agent Sarah Winters, was charged with infiltrating Jones's operations without alerting him. To gain the trust of Jones and his associates, agents had to blend in with his network, making them part of the social circles that Jones frequented. This required undercover agents to assume false identities, often attending exclusive events, dinners, and meetings, posing as investors or potential partners in Jones's schemes. The operation was painstakingly slow but extremely methodical. Special Agent Winters and her team spent months gathering intelligence, observing Jones's interactions, and compiling evidence of his suspicious activities. Throughout this period, they were able to identify several individuals who were involved in the money laundering operations, bribery schemes, and organized crime connections that were allegedly orchestrated by Jones. However, the key to bringing him down lay in obtaining concrete evidence, something that could directly link him to the illegal dealings. That's where the sting operation came into play. The sting operation, taping the deals. In early 2025, the FBI orchestrated a complex sting operation to expose Jones's criminal network. The operation revolved around secretly recording conversations between Jones and various high-profile figures, including politicians, business leaders, and criminal masterminds. The recordings were meant to provide irrefutable evidence of Jones's involvement in illegal activities, including his role in facilitating bribes, orchestrating illegal business deals, and laundering money. The FBI carefully selected several individuals to serve as undercover agents who could infiltrate Jones's operations. These agents, posing as business executives or government officials, were tasked with gaining Jones's trust and recording their conversations. One key piece of evidence came when Jones himself reportedly agreed to make a series of illicit deals that would involve bribing local officials to secure zoning approvals for his real estate ventures. The most damning tapes involved a series of discussions between Jones and a known crime boss, a conversation that exposed the full scope of his criminal operations. During these recordings, Jones was heard discussing bribes to be paid to high-ranking officials, as well as the laundering of millions of dollars through a series of shell companies. These conversations were strategically recorded by the FBI and later used as critical evidence to secure his arrest. The tapes. A web of lies and deception. The tapes revealed a web of lies and deception that Jones had woven over the years. In one particularly explosive conversation, Jones was heard speaking to an undercover agent posing as a city official about an illegal land deal. The transcript of the conversation reads as follows. Jones, we've got the mayor in our pocket, but I need you to grease the palms of the zoning board members. Once they approve this, we'll be set. It's a done deal. The city needs the investment, and they won't bat an eye once the cash is in their hands. Undercover agent. I can handle that. How much are we talking? Jones. 500 grand, maybe a little more. We need this one to go smoothly. No one can know what's going on behind the scenes. The conversation continued in a similar vein, with Jones casually discussing how to move large sums of money through various channels, all the while demonstrating his complete disregard for the law. These tapes were crucial in piecing together the larger narrative of Jones's criminal activities. Another tape exposed Jones's involvement with international money laundering schemes. He was heard discussing the logistics of moving illicit funds through shell companies in the Caribbean, as well as the use of offshore bank accounts to conceal the origins of the money. The scale of his operations was staggering, and the FBI quickly realized that bringing Jones to justice would require more than just a sting operation. It would require a full-scale investigation into his business empire. The arrest. A fall from grace. On the morning of March 10, 2025, the FBI moved in for the arrest. The operation was conducted swiftly and decisively, with Jones being apprehended at his luxury penthouse in downtown Manhattan. The arrest was carried out by a team of armed agents, who had been tracking his every move for months. Jones, who had previously flaunted his wealth and influence, was caught completely off guard when the agents knocked on his door. As agents entered the penthouse, Jones attempted to flee, but he was quickly apprehended. He was placed under arrest on charges of conspiracy, bribery, money laundering, and organized crime involvement. Despite his protests, the FBI had already gathered sufficient evidence to ensure that he would be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Jones's arrest sent shockwaves through the business and political communities. The businessman, who had once been hailed as a genius entrepreneur and visionary, was now exposed as a criminal mastermind. His fall from grace was swift and unforgiving, with many of his former associates distancing themselves from him in the wake of the arrest. The aftermath. Repercussions and consequences. The arrest of Jim Jones is expected to have far-reaching consequences, not just for him, but for many of the individuals and organizations tied to his illicit operations. The FBI's investigation is ongoing, and more arrests are expected as authorities continue to unravel the full extent of Jones's criminal network. Several high-profile figures who were once close to Jones are now under investigation, with many of them facing scrutiny for their involvement in the illegal deals that Jones allegedly orchestrated. Some have already started to cooperate with the authorities in exchange for leniency, while others are likely to fight the charges in court. Additionally, the scandal has raised questions about the degree to which corruption has permeated the highest levels of business and government. Jones's connections to politicians, business leaders, and even law enforcement officers suggest that the rot went much deeper than anyone had initially suspected. It is likely that this case will serve as a wake-up call for authorities, prompting a wider investigation into corruption and organized crime within the business world. Conclusion. The fall of a powerful figure. Jim Jones's arrest marks the dramatic end of a career built on secrecy, manipulation, and criminal enterprise. The tapes obtained by the FBI revealed the dark side of his empire, exposing the deals, bribery, and illegal activities that had been kept hidden for years. Jones's downfall is a testament to the power of diligent law enforcement and the lengths to which criminal networks will go to protect their interests. As the legal process unfolds, Jones will face the consequences of his actions. Whether or not he receives a fair trial or is granted a plea deal, one thing is certain: his once gilded reputation is forever tarnished, and his criminal activities will continue to haunt him for the rest of his life. For the FBI, the successful takedown of Jones represents a major victory in the fight against corruption and organized crime. It is a reminder that no one, no matter how powerful or influential, is above the law.